Alright guys, back in the garage again, another hot weekend. Not got much choice this weekend though, because I've got to do a bit of work on my Mazda CX-5. So the problem I've got is my lower control arms. The bushes have gone in them, which is causing a rattling noise, knocking noise underneath. So I've got a new parts here. I'll show you what I mean. So here's the new bush. That there is completely shot on my car. There's the whole lower arms. You've got the ball joint at the end there, and you've got another bush at that end, and then it goes into this great big one at the far side here. So what tends to happen is they wear, and in the end they're non-existent, so you're getting backwards and forwards knocking under the car when you're driving. So got to get it done. So get the car jacked up again, don't need to show you how to do that. Get some stands underneath it, and then I'll show you how we're going to do the job, so stick with us. Right then, once the car's jacked up, you're going to need to get underneath and remove this under tray. Yeah, so you've got just the usual sort of clips that hold it in place, because just under here where the arm is, up there is going to be the access to get inside, to get to the bolt, to get one of the bolts off. All right, so this has to come off, unfortunately. So either get yourself some spare clips, or cable ties are going to be your friend if you manage to break them. So get that off. I'll give you a quick look now the wheel's off. So the offending article, you'll see here's the lower arm, and that bush there, which has got the rubber insert in it, like I just showed you a second ago, that has actually ripped on the back. You can't really see it there. When I get it out I'll show you, but that part of the bush is worn, which results in that moving backwards and forwards, so you get the knocking. So to get it off, we've got to undo that bolt just there on the underside, and the one behind it. So you're looking at this one and that one, and then coming from the inside of your back of your brake disc there, you can see the lower ball joint. So that's going to need undoing as well. And then you're probably going to need something just to prise open the lower ball joint there, just to help remove it. And then, as I say, that bolt you can't get to at the minute because of the under tray is the one that's in there, just where I'm pointing to in there now. So they're the ones you've got to undo. So I'll get them undone and come back to you. All right, so with the under tray off, you can see what it looks like. I'm just undoing the bottom ball joint. It's a 14mm. Right, so that's that off, and the nut. We'll be able to tap that through in a sec. I'm just going to try and loosen off the big bolts now. Which are 19s. Oh, let's just get under the breaker bar and hope and pray that these are going to undo. Yeah, that one's loosing. Best to start off with a breaker bar on these, I think, rather than hitting it with a gun. Yeah, there she goes. Oh, that's tight. they've loosened. Let's try and get one at the front. Okay, I'm on. Cool. Oh, that's tight. Okay. Cool. Wow. That is tight. You know. All the conduit. Oh, that's all my body weight on that. I still can't get it undone. Right, so in the end I did get it undone and I used the big breaker bar. So it took a lot of effort. You're gonna need to make sure you eat your spinach before doing that, I tell you. It's bloody hard. So now I'm just taking out the other two bolts. What I mentioned, take you underneath so you can take a look. So I've just took one out already, which was the back one there. And now I'm just on the last one at the front there. Just taking this one out. And then it'd be a case of prising open the bottom ball joint and then hopefully being able to manoeuvre the old control arm out of the way. So there's the bottom long bolt. And now, zoom out a bit. So I've undone that. Just got to knock out the bolt. I'll tap that through. And then once that's out, I'll lever out the side and then pull this down and then we should be able to release it. I'll get it done. Right, so bottom ball joint's out. Let me tell you, that was an absolute bastard to get that out. Real having to whack that with a hammer, because I haven't got a fork tool, so just had to hit it with a hammer. That's out. All the other screws are out, so now we're ready just to hopefully manoeuvre it free. So I'll pull that out now. Right, here it is, the offending article. And as I said, there's that bush, and look at the movement in that. That's one-handed I'm moving that. So you can imagine, you see there the rubber. You can imagine the knocking and the vibration on the car. So just as well, I've took it out now, get it changed, so you're not broke down at the side of the road. There's the new one, ready to refit. Simply in the reverse, slide it into the gaps, bottom ball joint on, do everything back up. That's it guys, job's finished. I've got to say that was a bit of a ball ache, to be honest. Looked pretty easy on the outset, but it did take a while. I had a bit of grief getting the ball joint out, and That's because I thought I had a fork tool somewhere in my kit, but I couldn't find it. So that was a bit of a pain in the ass, but the old trusty club hammer worked, got it out. And what I did also notice as well, which I didn't get on film, was when it came to fitting the new arm in, I had to also remove the track rod end out of the hub. So I didn't have to unscrew it or anything like that, but I just had to unbolt it and just drop it out so that I had enough movement in the hub to move the hub out of the way whilst trying to maneuver the new control arm back into place. Otherwise you're just not going to get it in. So just remember, if you're doing this job yourself, guys, that you're going to have to undo the track rod end as well, so you've got enough movement to get the hub out of the way when you're fitting it back in. The bolts, when you're torquing them up, they're real high spec. So the front one was 180 foot-pounds. So the one at the very front, the one that I had a nightmare trying to undo it, that's why, because it's done up extremely tight. So 180 foot-pounds on that, and the two upright bolts, the ones that go through the bush at the back, the big part, those ones gets done up to 120 foot-pounds. And then your bottom ball joint, you need to do that bolt up to 35 foot-pounds. So yeah, it was a bit knackering laying on my back doing that. Wasn't much fun. It's a sweating hot day. Temperatures in the UK at the minute are ridiculous, but I had to get it done. Glad it's done. I just took it out for a quick drive, and the knocking has now gone. I'm feeling much better. So job's a good one. Good luck if you try doing it yourself. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. See you later, guys.